A wide cinematic shot reveals a massive prehistoric valley at sunset, with smoking volcanoes in the far distance. King Kong looks older, with more scars, standing on a high cliff overlooking his protected and vast territory. Below in the valley, the trees move in a synchronized wave, showing multiple giant creatures approaching the clearing. A group of 3 massive Titanoboas slither out from the jungle, and their scales reflecting the red sunlight. Kong roars from the cliffside, and a sound that shakes the entire valley and scares away flocks of pterodactyls. Kong leaps from the cliff, falling hundreds of feet and landing in a superhero stance, cratering the ground.
The first Titanoboa strikes instantly, but Kong grabs a giant boulder and slams it onto the snake's head.
One snake bites Kong's shoulder, and its massive fangs sinking deep into his muscle as the struggle intensifies. The water in the river turns dark as the alpha Titanoboa, double the size of others, rises up. Kong prepares for battle, picking up 2 sharpened tree trunks to use as dual weapons for the fight.
Kong is buried under rubble, and the alpha snake begins to coil around the debris to crush him. Deep vibration sounds of the rocks start to move as Kong's strength begins to push back from within.
Kong explodes out of the ruins, covered in dust and blood, and his eyes glowing with ancient primal energy.
He grabs the alpha's throat, and a brutal wrestling match begins in the mud and stone ruins.
Kong climbs onto the alpha's back and begins delivering devastating elbow strikes to its massive heavy skull. The alpha Titanoboa thrashes, smashing Kong against the ancient stone pillars of the temple ruins during combat.
Kong finds a heavy bronze chain in the ruins and wraps it around the alpha's neck now.
A cinematic pull. Kong pulls the chain with all his might, his muscles literally ripping through skin.
The alpha snake gasps for air, its body coiling tighter and tighter in a death struggle now.
The smaller snakes, seeing their leader defeated, quickly retreat back into the dark jungle and away now.
Kong stands at the edge of the ravine, looking down at the defeated alpha, while breathing heavily.
He lets out a victory roar that lasts for 10 seconds, the screen vibrating with the sound.
He places the flower on a small altar in the jungle, showing his respect for life now.
The camera pans up to the night sky, where a second moon appears, an omen for Era. Kong climbs to his favorite high peak and looks out over the valley he just protected today.
In slow motion, we see the moment the alpha Titanoboa first emerged from the river during combat.
Extreme close-up of the scales of the Titanoboa, showing battle scars from previous episodes of war. A montage of Kong's best punches throughout the final jungle war shows his raw power and strength.
Other creatures watch Kong from the shadows with respect as their protector and their king today.
A wide shot of the battlefield reveals the scale of the destruction across the prehistoric valley floor.
Kong is sharpening his claws against a massive volcanic rock under the light of the moons.
Rain begins to fall, washing away the footprints of the war from the muddy valley floor today.
Kong discovers a cave with more ancient paintings, revealing his true origin and his long heritage.
The sound of a distant mechanical roar hints at a modern threat, or perhaps a Mecha Kong.
Kong looks toward the ocean, sensing a threat coming from the water as he remains alert today. The alpha Titanoboa's tail twitches one last time in the ravine as life fades away today.
Kong shares a quiet moment with a prehistoric butterfly, showing his gentle side as a protector now.
A fast-cut montage shows the final war highlights, set to epic orchestral music for viewers.
A close-up of Kong's eye reflects the fire of a nearby volcano as he watches.
A giant footprint being filled with rainwater reflects the stars above in the quiet night jungle. Kong walks through a field of giant mushrooms looking for food after his long battle for survival. Kong beats his chest as the camera zooms out to show the entire planet Earth from space.
The subscribe screen shows an animation of Kong smashing the like button with his massive primate fist.
Who is the true king of the jungle for you?
Extra footage reveals swamp ripples as something moves beneath the surface, hinting at a new predator coming. Kong's hand reaches for the camera, ending the video with a jump scare roar for the audience.
A beautiful landscape shot reveals the jungle valley in the morning light as a new day begins.
Kong is sleeping peacefully, protected by the very jungle he saved during the final jungle war.
A slow-motion replay shows a snake strike missing Kong by an inch during the intense battle. The ancient bronze chain glows with a strange blue light as it remains in the temple ruins. A pterodactyl flies over the ruins of the temple as the night begins to fall once again.
The final cinematic credit roll appears over a dark jungle background as the video concludes for now.
Social media icons for Animal Angels Hub appear over a scenic view of the valley on screen. The moon reflects in the still water of the river, where the alpha once rose up today.
Kong's hand rests on the glowing flower as he sleeps in the cave entrance tonight for now.
The alpha snake's skeleton is half buried in the sand as time passes in the valley today.
A distant view reveals the volcanic eruption lighting up the clouds in a fiery red glow tonight.
A prehistoric bird lands on a temple pillar and chirps at the rising sun today for us.
The camera pans across the valley one last time, showing the beauty of the protected jungle today.
Kong's shadow moves through the trees as he goes back to his high peak to watch today.
A giant butterfly lands on the tip of Kong's finger as he reaches out gently today now.
The volcanic rock where Kong sharpened his claws glows with a residual heat from the eruption tonight.
A dragonfly zooms past the camera lens in slow motion over the calm swamp water today now.
Close-up of the ancient bronze chain lying in the dust of the temple floor tonight now. A black screen with the final logo of Animal Angels Hub appearing in the center today now. Final fade to black as the prehistoric heartbeat slows down and ends the video presentation tonight now.